Thank you so much for joining us today. At 10 a.m. this morning, the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity released the January 2022 labor statistics for the state of Florida, as well as its sub-state areas, including all metropolitan areas, counties, and large cities. In addition to the new monthly data, the agency has also begun releasing annual revisions to the published historical labor statistics. These data, including the revisions, were produced by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics through a federal-state cooperative agreement with DEO. Data were collected through a combination of employer and household surveys, administrative records, and statistical modeling techniques. I will start with information from the household survey. As a reminder, the current population survey is used to estimate Florida's unemployment rate, total labor force, and labor force participation rate under the Local Area Unemployment Statistics Program. Since these statistics are based on a survey of households, they capture information about individuals, not jobs, and they are calculated by place of residence, not place of work. Florida's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate in January 2022 was 3.5%. This was unchanged from the revised December 2021 rate and a decrease of 2.5 percentage points from January of last year. In January of 2022, Putnam County and Hamilton County had the highest unemployment rate at 5.1% each, followed by Citrus County at 5% and Highlands County at 4.9%. Monroe County had the state's lowest unemployment rate at 2.3%, followed by St. Johns County at 2.6%, and Wakulla County and Okaloosa County at 2.8%. As I mentioned earlier, every year we go through the process of revising historical data based on new information that was not available at the time of the initial release. Today, I will focus on some notable revisions to the data for the time periods leading up to the pandemic and through the end of 2021. However, please note some of these revisions to the data discussed here go back as far as 1990. In the graphic, the blue line displays the previously published unemployment rate estimates labeled as preliminary, and the green line shows the revised historical unemployment rate. Prior to the revisions, the latest available unemployment rate for December 2021 was 4.4%. This number was revised downward by 0.9 percentage points to 3.5%, where it remained in January. The new estimates were revised downward from the preliminary rate in each of the last 7 months of 2021, and we now know that Florida's unemployment rate has declined or remained steady for 18 straight months from July 2020 until January 2022. The revised series features a smoother decline in the unemployment rate from the July rate of 12.5% to the current rate of 3.5%. We also now estimate that the pink unemployment rate in May 2020 was 13.9%. This was revised down 0.3 percentage points from the preliminary estimate of 14.2%. This is still the highest rate on record for the state. The pre-pandemic rate in the month of February 2020 was also revised downward from 3.3% to 2.7%. When we overlay the national unemployment rate in red, we can see how the revised estimates compare to the nation. The preliminary data had indicated that Florida's unemployment rate has been at or above the national rate since October 2021. However, the revised estimates show that the statewide rate of 3.5% in January 2022 was lower than the U.S. rate of 4%, and that it has remained below the national rate for 14 straight months since December of 2020. Annual revisions also impacted the labor force estimates for the state. In this graphic, we can see the original estimates in blue and the revised estimates in green. The revised data show a smaller labor force than was originally estimated, with downward revisions in the last 9 months of 2021. By December 2021, the revised series has 260,000 fewer individuals in the labor force than originally reported. The pre-pandemic labor force level from February 2020 was also revised down to 10,294,000, which is 167,000 below the original estimate. As was reported previously, the revised data still show that more Floridians are currently in the labor force than there were in February of 2020. As of January 2022, there are 154,000 more Floridians in the labor force than the pre-pandemic level, an increase of 1.6% over that time period. The revised data also show that the labor force surpassed the pre-pandemic levels in June 2021, which is 1 month earlier than had previously been reported. The unemployment rate of 3.5% for January 2022 represented 364,000 jobless individuals out of a labor force of 10,448,000. The labor force grew in January 2022, adding 48,000 over the month, or 0.5%. Over the past year, Florida's labor force has grown by 3.1% compared to 2.2% nationally. Employment grew by 48,000, while unemployment was unchanged in January. Job creation data for Florida is derived from the Current Employment Statistics, or CES, survey conducted by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. The CES survey collects data from over 40,000 Florida businesses and establishments each month to measure jobs by industry across the state. Since these statistics are based on a survey of employers, they measure counts of jobs, not individuals, and they capture characteristics of employers such as industry and place of work. Total non-agricultural employment rose to over 9.1 million jobs in January 2022. This was up 25,300 jobs, or 0.3%, from December 2021. This figure is up 504,000 jobs from a year ago, which is an over-the-year increase of 5.5%. Florida's private sector non-agricultural employment was 8,067,500 jobs in January 2022, up 23,900 jobs, or 0.3%, from December 2021. Total private employment was up 496,700 jobs from January 2021. This is an over-the-year increase of 6.2%. 7 of the 10 major industry sectors in Florida gained jobs over the month, though all 10 major industries gained jobs from 1 year ago. Professional and business services gained 9,300 jobs over the month, or 0.6%, followed by trade, transportation, and utilities at 7,400 jobs, or 0.4%, and leisure and hospitality at 4,300 jobs, or 0.4%. 3 industries lost jobs over the month. They were other services, manufacturing, and information. We have also completed annual revisions for the job numbers. As before, the previously published data are shown in blue for the preliminary series, while the revised data are in green. The revisions to the CES employment estimates show that for the last 17 months since August 2020, payroll employment has consistently been higher than originally estimated. In fact, by last October, Florida total non-farm payroll had exceeded the February 2020 level. As of January 2022, there are 88,300 more jobs in Florida than prior to the pandemic. By the end of the revision period in December 2021, total non-farm employment revised up by 167,200 jobs to 9,138,500. In this next graphic, we see the revisions to employment as of December 2021 by industry supersector. Leisure and hospitality employment was revised up by 61,400 jobs, followed by professional and business services and trade, transportation, and utilities. Additional industries with positive revisions were manufacturing, financial activities, and information. Government, education and health, other services, and construction had slightly smaller employment than originally estimated. With the latest revisions, there are some notable changes to the amount of jobs recovered by industry. We had previously reported that 4 major industry sectors, these were trade, transportation, utilities, professional business services, financial activities, and construction, had recovered 100% of jobs lost during the pandemic. As of January 2022, manufacturing and information have also surpassed their February 2020 employment levels. This means that 6 out of 10 major sectors have more jobs now than prior to the pandemic. Prior to the latest revisions, the leisure and hospitality industry was reported to have recovered 77% of jobs lost, but we now know that the industry has recovered 88% of those jobs. In this graphic, we can see the industry recovery in Florida compared to the nation, with Florida shown here in green and the U.S. in blue. Industries above zero have more jobs now than in February 2020. Nationally, total employment has not yet recovered to pre-pandemic levels, and we can see that Florida has recovered more jobs in all major industry sectors except for total government. There are some similarities between the state and the nation. Professional and business services has added the most jobs since February 2020, both in Florida at 6.9% and the nation at 2.3%. Leisure and hospitality has the most jobs left to recover in both areas. We also see some differences. Both manufacturing and construction have gained jobs in Florida since February 2020, whereas these sectors have not recovered in the rest of the country. Florida has also seen strong growth in financial activities compared to the nation, which has not seen net job gains over this period. This map shows the January 2022 seasonally adjusted local area data. This shows that 14 of the 24 metro areas in Florida have had over the month job gains. The Northport, Sarasota, Bradenton metro area grew at the fastest rate of 0.9%. The metro areas that added the most jobs in January were Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater with 5,900 jobs, Miami, Miami Beach, Kendall with 3,900 jobs, and Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, Deerfield Beach with 3,400 jobs. The West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, Delray Beach area incurred a loss of 6,800 jobs in January. This was followed by Deltona, Daytona Beach, Ormond Beach, which lost 1,500 jobs, Port St. Lucie, which lost 500 jobs, and Palm Bay, Melbourne, Titusville, which lost 300 jobs. And finally, we see here the job openings and labor turnover survey, or JOLTS data, that's produced by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. BLS estimates that there were 650,000 job openings in Florida in December of 2021. This is shown here in blue. This was up 260,000 jobs from a year ago. BLS also estimated 341,000 hires statewide in December 2021, shown in green, which was an over-the-month drop of 116,000. This is the lowest level of hires in 8 months, but still an increase of 28,000 from 1 year ago. For December 2021, BLS estimated that there were 315,000 quits statewide, shown here in red, which has barely changed over the month, but up 95,000 or 43% from a year ago. Thank you so much for joining us this morning for DEO's rate release for January 2022 and statewide historical revisions. This is a recording due to technical difficulties with this morning's recording. Please join us Friday, March 25th for the February 2022 data release.